Hey y'all, it's me, Fletch, back at it again with yet another story time guys you already know because I'm the baddest. What? What am I bitch? The baddest trans bitch on YouTube, and that is of the period, Starling.
I wanna be with you. I wanna be with you. I wanna be with you. I wanna be with you.
I'm not gonna be too loud. I'm still gonna talk like normally, but I'm just not gonna be too loud. So, as y'all can read by the title, I am finally going to be telling you guys the story times that I've been wanting to tell y'all. But it's going to be a 4-part trilogy because I've known this boy since 2020, y'all. I've known this boy since 2020. So we fell out in April of 2024. So without further ado, y'all already know what to do. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Just like this one. And if you love my gorgeous face, obviously, make sure you guys share with your friends, your family, your foes, all that. And let's get right into this video. This is going to be a 4-part series called Surviving a Sag, or a Sag, or whatever you want to call it. And a Sag or a Sag is none other than a Sagittarius. And this guy fucked it up for every other Sagittarius man that I've ever met in my life. I don't fuck with them. And the thing is, every Sagittarius man that I have fucked with, they've always done some weird shit. Like, literally, y'all, the other boy in the other story time when I said, boy, fuck you, with the biggest dick with the biggest dick that you can fit in your asshole, whatever I said, girl. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The boy that had me standing outside his house and I Ubered up over there, right? Girl, he's a Sagittarius too. And Fran is still on my body trying to get back in my good graces, honey. It's not happening. It's not happening. So let's go and get right into this story time. So I was doing my daily scroll on this app called Plenty of Fish. I had just recently found out what Plenty of Fish was because at first I was a jacked grinder babe. I didn't know anything about a fucking Plenty of Fish. I'm like, what the fuck is a Plenty of Fish? Like, in the sea? Like, what are you talking about? It's like a canned tuna? Like, what is that? So, girl, I created my little profile, girl. And at that time, I had a profile picture of me because I was working security, y'all, doing Allied Universal Security. I was working at the FedEx hub over there on Democrat when Allied had their contract with them. And child, I had just did my first ever, like, closure sew in. Kind of, sort of, not really. Like, well, okay, no. This was my first time letting my sister do my hair, y'all. And I had this black curly like closure sewing in my head from this company on AliExpress, not AliExpress, y'all, up on Amazon called Be Fairy Hair. Ass, complete ass. Like, y'all, that hair shed so much. The closure I got from the beauty supply store, you don't expect much from a beauty supply store closure, but that closure held it. But the bundles, oh girl, what the fuck? Like, and had the nerve. Oh, we ain't gonna even get into all that because this is not about that. But the hair was trash, but the style was cute. So I just got my hair done, and I had a picture of me with my freshly done brows. I had these like blue like coffin nails. At that time I was really big on my coffin nails. These blue like freestyle coffin nails that Miss Jenda did for me, y'all. Miss Jenda, she is a trooper. Like, I love her so much. She doesn't work at the nail shop by my house no more. Like, now she works in her own like nail shop, and I need to go see her and her husband because I haven't seen them in quite some time. But the area that they got their shop in is kind of sketchy, so I'm like, I don't know about all that. But you know, it's neither here nor there. So shout out to her, by the way. And of course, you already know, same old regular uniform. So I had that little picture, and I put it in here as well as my profile picture. And I also had like a couple other pictures from like way back when that I can't remember right now at this moment. And I would be swiping left on the guys that I did not want, and swiping right on the guys that I know I wanted to. Okay, and I just so happened to swipe right on this boy. And for the sake of this story time, y'all, we're going to call this boy Chris. We're gonna call him Chris, y'all. And the ones that know, they know. But the ones that don't, girl, you're gonna find the fuck out. So Chris swiped right on me, and I swiped right on Chris. And you already know, boom, it was a match because you know this milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. You already know what the rest of it is, girl. We ain't gotta get into all that. And he texts me like, hey, what's up with you? I'm like, oh, hey, I'm doing fine. Like, how are you? Just simple, casual, boring conversation. Nothing too interesting. He's asking me like, where am I from? Things like that. Asking me like what my name is. All that fun shit, right? Asking me what's my birthday. Just random old simple conversation. Girl, I got my nails done. I just can't. Girl, throwing up gang signs, baby. I can't. Like, girl, they just so cute, girl. They so pretty, like. And he ended up asking me, like, so, do you do link ups? I'm like, yes, I do link ups. Also, before we get into anything else, I do always have on my profiles in my bio that I am transgender. But I like to reiterate that in the chat, just in case you may have looked over or not looked at it at all. So I made sure that I asked Chris, I was like, hey, like, did you know or do you know that I'm trans? Did you read my bio to know that I'm trans? He was like, yeah, like, I know you're trans, I'm cool with that. I'm like, okay, great, period. We cooking with grease, the gears are turning, all that fun shit. So he asked me would I mind linking up with him. I was like, nah, boo, like, I would not mind linking up with you at all. Like, you're very handsome, very, 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 very fine ass man, y'all. Like, I really feel bad. Now, well, I don't feel bad. I missed the dick. I was like, no, I wouldn't mind looking up with you. Like, what times are you available? He told me the times that he's available. He asked me what times am I available. Because I did tell him that I do security and I do work during the afternoon times and I'm looking off until 10:15. So he said, okay, I'm open to linking up like later at night because he worked overnight. Like, he kind of went in around like, give or take, like, I want to say like 3 or 4 in the morning and then get off until like 4 in the afternoon. So he wouldn't be able to like see me during the afternoon times because I'd be at work during the afternoon time. So the only time that we could see each other is at night, girl, around like 11, maybe 12 o'clock if these bitches showed up for work. Because these hoes were always late. Like I say in every fucking story time doing security. Bitch, girl, we ain't gonna get into all that. Anyway, so, I told Fran my availability. He was fine with my availability. And we made a plan from there. Now, there was a time when he offered to have a link up with me, and I didn't pull through because they ended up wanting me to stay, so I had to stay later and work all the way up until 6 o'clock in the morning. Girl, child, I went straight home and went to sleep, and I was off that day. He didn't speak to me that day either, which was fine, because if you were mad, that's cute, that's cool, whatever, but bitch, I got money to make, and it's not my fault that these grown-ass adults who know what time they're supposed to be at work don't show up. That ain't got nothing to do with me. And I told you this ahead of time, so why you got an attitude? And then let me tell y'all something else about him as well. Fran used to always do these little, manipulation type of tactics where you'll make me feel bad about something that I have no control over. Like, say, for instance, I went to sleep, right? He texted me at, 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm asleep. I wake up, I text him at the time when I wake up at 10:45, maybe 11, because I always wake up and check my phone. That's the first thing I do every time I wake up in the morning. And I see who all is texting me. So if I see that you texted me, I'm going to text you back. He'll be like, why didn't you speak to me? Like, what's going on? Like, you must be talking to other niggas. First of all, one, you're not even my man. So what do you mean I must be talking to other niggas? Boo, I'm not even your bitch. And let's be quite frank, I don't refer to myself as that in a relationship, but I'm just, talking to y'all, okay? So we ended up finally devising a plan to link up, right? And it was nighttime. I still had my little curly sewing in my head. I had on my little pink scarf. I already had took me a shower at the house. And I had, douched out, whatever the case may be. And everything was good. From there, I had on this, I want to say it was, I can't remember, y'all. It was so long ago. I'm not going to even sit up here and try to lie to y'all about all the details because I can't remember the details. But I do remember that I had this curly sewing in my head and I did have my little my little pink silk scarf on my head. So, Fran offered to pick me up. Around this time, he had a black, Kia. Was it a Kia, girl? It was a black something, girl. It was a little small, car. I was trying to call it an SUV. It's not an SUV. It was a little small black car, girl. Real cute. I remember when we first met for the first time, child. I went on, got myself together, got myself all cute. I already know what I did, child. Shade this little ball, girl. Got myself looking real snazzy, real pizzazzy. At that time, I wasn't as feminine as I am now. Now, I'm a lot more natural feminine. I'm not overtly feminine. I'm not exaggerated feminine. At that time, I was none of those. I was just there. So I would have my nails done and I would do my hair every now and again. But, I wasn't really as polished, I guess you would say, as I am now. So Friend let me know he was outside. I got in the car with Friend, girl, and then I turned it and I looked at old boy, honey. When I tell y'all, he is such a beautiful man, but his spirit is just not right, y'all. He was this light-skinned guy, had like this taper fade type situation. Y'all know what a taper fade is. If you don't know, girl, I'm not gonna keep explaining it to you, but I know some of you bitches are new, so let me tell you what it is, girl, because I used to have one back in the day. So a taper fade is basically like, you know, you got your little crispy line up at the front, you know, your sideburns on the side if you want those, or just a fade on the side, fade in the back, hair in the middle. And when I say hair in the middle, I don't mean like little, like one piece of hair in the middle. No, it's like a little afro, but you just got your hair like cut around the edges. Like if you get a taper done, a taper is normally your hairline, your sides, sideburns, side back here, the back of your neck. That's basically what it is. It's just a lineup, but it's just a faded lineup, if that makes sense. The boys know what I'm talking about. He was about like, I want to say 5'6". Y'all know I'm 5'5". I'm very short, bitch. Like I'm literally so fucking short. So he was like 5'6", maybe 5'7" somewhere up in there. Very big lips, very big, pretty, like pink lips, girl. Like, and they matched his face. Like he had like this very like sharp chin, like very chiseled jawline, very like thin guy, but like not too thin, kind of like twink build, if you get what I'm saying. The boys know what I'm talking about. The gays know what I'm talking about. And the girls know what I'm talking about. Still petite, if you will. And he had like very big eyes, very beautiful big eyes. They weren't a color, they were just very like expressive. And you could see his emotion in his eyes. And oh girl, he was such a beautiful man. Such a beautiful man, y'all. Got in the car. I say, hey, how are you? When I tell y'all, man's voice was so deep. It was so deep, y'all, like very deep, like deeper than mine. And my voice ain't even that deep, girl, because I mean I can heighten it if I want to, but like if I relax my vocal cords, it'll sound like this. But his voice sounded completely different. Like it didn't sound anything like that. It was like, hey, what's going on? Like that was his voice, bitch. That was his voice. That was his voice. And I was like, because bitch, I ain't never met no man with no voice as deep as this. You're like, oh my gosh, like never met a man with a voice as deep as that. Like he sounded like the Allstate man. He literally sounded like the Allstate man, y'all. From little commercials. That kind of made my little fanny flutter or whatever the case may be. So we chit-chatting a little bit. He's talking to me about like, you know, his life, things going on in his personal life. You know, I'm talking to him about things going on in my personal life, all that fun shit, right? So, you know, we ended up pulling up to his house. And where he lived, he didn't live too far from me. Like, when I got my car in 2022, when other shit popped off, you know, I realized that he wasn't that far from me. And he wasn't that far from my job either. But that's neither here nor there. So, you know, we pull on up to his house, girl. We get on out the car. He had on these black sweatpants with this white t-shirt. And he had on like a little black hoodie, girl. Really just, oh, girl, just so fine, y'all. Oh, my gosh. Like, when I say fine, y'all. Oh, I hate I cut him off. Me and Fran, or Fran and I, we ended up walking into his little house or whatever, girl. Really cute apartment. As soon as you walk in, he had like this little black leather couch that sat right by the window. This really huge, like, I don't know if it was like a 50-inch. Girl, it could have been bigger than that. It looked like it was like a 60, 70, maybe even an 80, girl. That was a big ass TV, girl. He had this big ass flat screen TV. To your left when you walk in was this cute little like dining room, like table type situation. And then around the corner is the kitchen. And then if you look straight ahead when you come through the front doors, that's where his bedroom is. And he had like a bathroom in his bedroom, of course, like, you know, whatever. So, you know, I walk on in. I'm like, oh, you have a nice place. He's like, thank you, thank you. I'm like, yeah, no problem. So we sit on the couch for a little minute. You know, we chit chat. Friends rolling up a little blunt because he asked me, do I smoke? Y'all know this bitch is a chimney. Throw some oak in this bitch. Like, seriously. I'm sitting on the couch, girl, looking real cute. Got my little purse with me or whatever, honey. I don't remember what outfit I had on. I literally don't remember what outfit I had on. But that's neither here nor there as well. So I'm sitting there on the couch, girl. Friend rolling up his little blunt and stuff. So then we get to like smoking the blunt back and forth. You know, we talking a little bit. And then he would like do this thing where he would like lay back on the couch and put his arm like, you know, around me and pull me up close to him, right? So he'll pull me over there by his chest. So I would lay on his chest, girl. And he just smelled so good, y'all. Smelled so good. And then you would just hear his heartbeat just thumping in your ear, girl. It just make your eardrum shake. Like, oh my gosh, it was so rhythmic. It was so rhythmic. So I'm laying there on his chest, and we were watching at the time. Snowfall was very popular back in like 2020, 2021, if y'all remember. And we were watching Snowfall. I started watching Snowfall by myself, but you know, I really wasn't that invested in it until I started watching it with somebody else. That shit was interesting. So, you know, we chilling and stuff. I'm hearing this little heartbeat in his chest and stuff. He's talking to me, and while he's talking to me, his vibrato. Oh my gosh, like he's speaking to me with me laying on his chest, and his voice is just rumbling. Like you could, his chest was just vibe. Oh my gosh, like y'all. Oh, you just had to be there, bitch. You just had to be there. So after we got done watching a couple of episodes of Snowfall, a friend, like, you know, grabbed my hand, and he was like, oh, you got some really small hands. I'm like, well, I don't feel like they're small, because to me, when I look at my hands look very big. In my opinion, my hands look very big. Like, even to y'all, my hands might look very big. I don't know, they look very big. He said that my hands were very small, so that kind of made me feel real cute, like real feminine. Around that time, y'all, I was just starting to live as a transgender woman. So, you know, we chit-chatted just a little bit more, and then, like, I started to notice he was having some little action downstairs, girl. It was like a little poke that was, like, starting to, like, you know, poke through his little pants, and he was sagging a little bit, too, girl. So he had, like, these little baby blue, like, shorts that were up under there. So, girl, he was like, so I got something I want to ask you. I'm like, yeah. He was like, you know, I've been needing some tender loving care, or whatever the case may be. Like, that's not what he said, girl, but he said something like that, if you get what I'm saying. So, you know, me, I'm always ready for an opportunity to give somebody a good time. So when Fran said he needed some loving, I said, what kind are you looking for? So then Fran snatched them pants off, girl. He snatched off them shorts, and when I say pretty, it was so pretty. Like, girl, let me stop. Tan, like, oh my gosh, like, y'all know how some light skinned dudes, like, their pieces don't match them. His matched him very well. Like, it fit his personality, it fit his body size, it fit his body, period. Girl, it wasn't the biggest, by the way, but it was very pretty. It was kind of like, I want to say, it was like medium size, like, kind of about like this thick. About like, oh, not that thin. It was about like this thick, and it was about like this long. Not too bad. Very easy for a bitch like me, because at that time she wasn't a pro. Like, she didn't know how to suck it like that, but she knew how to do a quick 1-2 step. So Fran dick slaps him on his little sternum, girl, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So he's like, you gonna take care of that for me? I'm like, I am. So, girl, I get some munching on Fran and his moans, girl. Like, y'all already know how I do. Like, Fran had these really big, heavy testicles, and they were just so, oh god. Like, when I say, like, one in my mouth felt like I had a meatball up in there. Like, both of them, it was like, bitch, when I tell you, big, God bless him. Not with too much length, but everything else was a success, bitch. So, girl, I'm working Fran out, whatever the case may be. You know, it's slob all on his stomach, girl. Sliding down his balls, girl. Like, on his balls, girl. All up in his little booty hole and whatnot. Girl, like, Fran's toes are crackling and popping. His eyes are rolling in the back of his head, girl. He's grabbing my head, telling me to open my mouth wide and relax my throat, girl. Like, he started fucking my face. Like, girl, it was a time to be had, bitch. When I tell you, we had a time. I like to kind of like edge my boys. I don't like to like do all that real fast and then like, pew, like, no. I like to take my time, because I want you to feel like you're being pleased. Like, I love to please. I'm a pleaser, and I get off on pleasure. I don't really care too much about me like nutting or anything like that. I don't care about that. As long as you do, that's all I'm concerned about, girl. I can wait till you leave and beat my little friend up, but about the whole situation that's going on, or like whatever went down. I don't really need to beat my friend up while we're in the same presence, because it's not that serious to me. I want you to feel good. So I want to say, after like 30, 45 minutes, Friend's like, I'm about to nut. I'm like, okay, girl. And you know what I did, honey? Ooh, honey, when I say Fran erupted like Mount St. Helens all up in my esophagus. Child. And he didn't taste that good, like nut wise. He didn't taste that good. He kind of tasted real like earwaxy, but that's because he probably smokes a lot, and he told me that he does. So he smokes way too much, and like if you smoke too much, it can like change the way your your stuff tastes. So it was real nasty, but I swallowed and I kept on sucking, bitch. Girl, I wanted Fran to feel good, girl. His eyes wanted in the back of his head. He's moaning loud as fuck, y'all. Like, I mean, I'm letting him have it. I done grabbed the shaft, girl. I done start kind of like sucking on the tip a little bit, girl, trying to get the rest of that nut out the tip. Ooh. Ooh, girl, when I tell you I worked Fran out, honey, worked him out. Worked him out. So after that, girl, I got myself dressed. He got himself dressed. And he went on and he took me home. So that is just the beginning of how I met Chris and surviving a Sagittarius. So this is only part 1. Stay tuned for part 2, girl, because part 2 is when things are going to start getting a little interesting, okay? So thank you all so much for tuning into this short little introduction story time. If you guys like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you did it, for you to get a thumbs down. Please make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe to my channel, videos like this one. And if you guys love my gorgeous face, obviously, like I said in the beginning, make sure you guys share with your friends, your family, your foes, that hating asshole in the back that keeps your bills paid. And I'll be back at it again with yet another story time. Bye, bitches.